Well, this is a complicated story. First of all, we don't know what the Supreme Court is going to decide about the legality of the tariff actions of the Trump administration. My own view, for what it's worth, is he is doing things, he has been doing things which are well beyond his powers. But whether the Supreme Court will agree, we don't know, but that's going to be very important. But even if the Supreme Court allows him to go ahead, the revenue generated by the tariffs will certainly not pay off America's debts. It won't begin to cover Americans' deficits. So the debts will continue to grow. We know that very, very well. The US will continue to run the largest fiscal deficit of any major Western country. It will therefore continue to have rising debt, and it will continue to depend, without doubt, on foreigners to buy that debt. So the question is, how long will foreigners be willing to buy that debt? On what terms? The US also wants to lower interest rates. I think the world will want higher interest rates over time. Now, what will that mean? It will mean probably a weaker dollar, and almost certainly at least no decline in inflation unless there's a huge recession, which seems unlikely at the moment. So I expect inflation to remain above target. It will be sticky. The Fed will be pushed to lower rates. It will find it difficult to do so. And the fiscal problems and external deficits of the US will continue regardless of the tariffs.
Do you think now, but $50 billion, what consequence could a potential US Supreme Court ruling against tariffs Trump?
Well, obviously, if they really stop him from doing it, the trade war will stop. That's not going to happen. He can clearly find other means to do this. But it may mean that some of the tariffs are reduced. And it may mean that he will find it more difficult to continue with the tariff wars in the way he's been doing. And that would be quite good for the world. It would calm down the anxiety, will reduce uncertainty. I think that would be very good for business around the world. And Mr. Trump will have to find other instruments to exert pressure with on the world. But we're not there yet, and we really don't know what the Supreme Court is going to decide. I think it's very unpredictable.
You talk about Federal Reserve. How do you judge Trump's pressure on Federal Reserve? He blames Powell on inflation and for not lowering interest rates, but his own measures, Trump's measures, aren't helping to lower inflation.
Well, Mr. Trump is very confused. He says that the economy is spectacularly strong under him because he's such a wonderful president and has done such a wonderful job. And Mr. Powell and the Fed must lower rates because otherwise the economy will be too weak. Well, that's a typical example of Trump's inconsistencies and confusion. The reality is that the economy is not very strong. But inflation is quite sticky. It's what we used to call stagflation. It's a little bit of stagflation. Not terrible, but that's what it is. Now, the question is, will he win? Will Trump manage to win? Jay Powell has been very resistant. He knows he's going, and he wants to leave with his legacy intact. The crucial question is who will be the next president of chairman of the Federal Reserve. And we don't know. Some of the names put forward are quite sensible. Some of them are crazy. And until we know who the next Fed chair is and how the Fed board behaves, because the Fed chair doesn't control everything, we don't know what monetary policy will be. But my guess is that Trump will find it very difficult to get the Fed to slash interest rates in this situation, because the argument for doing so is really very weak.